Welcome on in, my Ashwings, to another installment of the Silver Age A to Z series. Today we are taking a look at Benji, the first of our B-lettered heroes. And Benji has a very interesting ability that I think is going to be underlooked in the format here, which is the ability to skirt around your opponent's defenses. So Benji has the ability of your attack action cards with 2 or less power can't be defended by cards from hand. They're a ninja hero, so only ninja cards, no talents or anything like that. But also the first time they attack, an attack action card you control hits each turn, your next attack gets +1. So this allows you to give +1 to your other stuff, kind of like how Ira does, except your attack actions have to hit in order to get that +1. But in this scenario, we kind of want to go with a little bit more low to the ground kind of damage, because it does allow us to kind of get over our opponent's defenses and really continue to like trickle down their life total. So what we're doing here is we have Bladebecker helmet. It's just kind of the best helmet since Mask of Three Tails is banned, so you get to go ahead and play that. And then we're playing all 3 copies of these other Tiger armor pieces, right? So we have Blood Scent, which if we played a Crouching Tiger this turn, we can get a resource. It also has Battle Worn 1. Pouncing Paws, create a Crouching Tiger, Battle Worn 1. And then Tearing Shuko, next Crouching Tiger gets +2, Battle Worn 1. So you have 3 pieces of armor here that block, well, 4 that block. And then also these ones are at instant speed, so you don't have to worry about breaking the chain or anything in order to activate their abilities. Because we're putting so much of a focus of this deck into kind of a Tiger build, we are running Tiger Taming Kikara. This is just a great resource generative send 2 at your opponent. Your opponent can block a Tiger Taming Kikara, so in most cases they're going to try and block the weapon instead of being able to block your 2 power attacks. But sequencing is kind of important here because you want to make sure those Crouching Tigers don't come in for 3. You want to try and have them come in for 2 in most cases, just so they can leak some damage, and then you can continue to kind of threaten your opponent's life total down. The main core of the deck here is the Biting Breeze, right? The 0 for 3 is still threatening a card, but the yellow and the blue are pretty much unblockable. You're always going to get a Crouching Tiger off of that, and so if you do get a Crouching Tiger, that just means that you can send that Crouching Tiger for 1 because of Benji's ability. So always good value there. You're getting at least another point of value on these. Bittering Thorns, we're running the reds and the blues. The blues, of course, allow you to hit because they're coming in for 2, so your opponent can't block them with cards from their hand. They can still block with equipment, but they can't block with cards from hand. Of course, we do have Breed Anger, so this is just a 1 for 4. We are still wanting to send some 4 power attacks because while your opponent can block those, it does allow for us to threaten cards out of your opponent's hand to make their turn less effective. And so that's really what we want to do, is we want to try stripping cards from their hand by making them go. You want to like lure your opponent into a sense of, oh, I have to block this 4 power attack because I'm not going to be able to block the 2 power attacks. And therefore they just kind of give you their whole hand anyway. We are running the red and the blue Flex Claws. Again, Flex Claws does essentially the same thing as Biting Breeze at the blue, where it's going to hit. You then play Crouching Tiger to give another +1. Growl, great way to get a ton of value off of just +1 to your Tigers. So if you have a Tiger that's coming in for 1, you come in with a Growl for 3, and then you come in with a Flex Claws for 2, it hits, and then your Crouching Tiger should come in for 2 as opposed to for 1, which is what we kind of want to do here. Razor Reflex is just a cheeky way to kind of get around your opponent's defenses. If they have a D-React and you pump a card, they can still block it then, but they have to have a D-React. In most cases, they're not able to utilize their D-React, so try to get this off on maybe some of those 4 power attacks or the 3 power attacks sooner than the yellow or the blue attacks. Scar for Scar, pretty simple. We're already at less life, so if we start with this card in our hand, we get a ton of value by being able to go first. Surging Strike, we have a lot of blues in our deck, so sending a 5 power go again attack is not going to be terrible there to threaten more damage. We are also on Untamed Red and Untamed Blue. This is much like Growl, except it costs a card. And Untamed is coming in for a breakpoint, which is good. Be Like Water allows us to sneak in some damage. It's just a 0 cost yellow. You can pay a resource to have it become Head Jab, Surging Strike, or Twin Twisters. Those don't really matter a whole lot, although I think I might put in Whelming Gust Wave in here just because we are on Surging Strike. And if this does hit and we do get to get the value off of it there, then we can also name Surging Strike and get a Whelming Gust Wave on hit power card. So I've thought about it, haven't tried it out yet. We're also running Aspect of Tiger Mind because if we do attack with a blue, we can then go ahead and get a Crouching Tiger. So we can send in 1 point of damage, it hits, send an Aspect of Tiger Mind, that'll come in for 2, and then we can obviously go ahead and just crack our Shukos here to send a Crouching Tiger for 2, or at least threaten a bigger line with Pouncing Key and stuff like that. So more ways to threaten damage towards the end game, but that's a different thing. Nip the Heels also allows you to give +1 to anything that base 3 or less. So anything that you are looking to pump up, just because you're like, oh, you know, they can take 1 damage here, but they can't take 2, and they already can't block it. Let's pump it up to 2 and then hit them with it. So it's also a blue 3 block. Very good. Pouncing Key, again, if we are playing a Crouching Tiger at any of our turns, Pouncing Key then comes in for 2 go again. So it will hit because our opponent can't block with cards from our hand. So they send in more damage. Soulbeat Strike is also a great starter because it comes in for 2. If it hits, it gets go again. So you can immediately go ahead and just play this and pretty much guarantee it hits unless your opponent has 2 armor up. We are then running 2 copies of Battlefront Bastion, 2 Oasis Respite for Wizards. We're running Blue Snatch. I really couldn't find any other card to put in here, and I thought Blue Snatch might not be terrible. We're also running Harmonized Kodachi. This is more so for the Guardian matchups, I want to say, just so we can swing in more small points of damage that they're not going to really want to block. And then also Null Rune AB3, because we are running a lot of blues, so we can afford to AB3 into our opponent, especially on on Ninja, which is very interesting because normally you would not expect that, but that is the case here. So let's go ahead and take this hero into the Silver Age Talishar queue and see how they perform. And I don't know, we'll see if Benji's got what it takes. So our opponent here is Azalea. Very interesting. Azalea is going to go first, so we get to go second. I do think we still run Tiger Taming Kakar into this one here. We're not going to change too much about our deck. I think pretty much everything stays. The best part about going into Lexi is that we know that they're not going to have armor, at least very good armor. And so we're going to be able to send a lot at our opponent here, I think. But we shall see. They do have, okay, so they are on Blade Beckoner equipment here. So it is going to be a little rough, but also that's pretty much just 2 block because they can block the weapon with the other block, but they're going to get 2 block here. So not a whole ton to threaten there. They're probably not on D-Reacts if I were to guess. I believe this is Snapshot Lexi, if I were to guess. Yeah. Dazzling Crescendo was fused. It gains go again. Okay. So this is definitely going to be some Snapshot Lexi stuff. Is it going to be fused? It is. Skizik is the fuse. So that's good there. I think we'll just block 4. Lightning Press, so that kind of sucks for us. All right. Send an Entwine Lightning. 4 more damage. And then send a Skizik. Or keep the Skizik. I guess theoretically you can keep the... Oh, that's so good. Put Skizik in Arsenal and then flip up Skizik and then give it go again on there. Ooh, that's so good. That's crazy good. Okay. So we do have the Surging Strike here. But theoretically we can do this. Yeah, I think it's probably better to do this here. We're going to Growl. Send 3. Probably going to want to keep most of their hand if I were to guess, but send a Scar for a Scar. Okay, Scar for Scar is going to hit. That means that this will come in for 2. We should have this come in for 6. We should have this come in for 6. This didn't have it really line up there. A lot more reds than we had expected in our hands, so that's fine. They're willing to take the damage. They're going to get a ton of value off of... I guess we could theoretically do this. Attack with Kakara. Or no, this, play the Crouching Tiger, give it +2, and then pop, but we don't really want to do that. I think we want to get full value out of our armor here in this situation. This is a pretty good hand. Okay, Lexi. They're also not on any kind of special thing here. I think I'm just going to give them 4. Pop that. Death Dealer. Load. Shoot. Okay, so you can Bullseye Bracer after this, I guess, right? So that's fine. I'll take 4. Bring me down to 10. Yep. Another Swift Shot. Okay. I'll take 4 or 5. Sure, I'll take 5. Lightning Press. That sucks. Anything else to send us? No? Okay. Well, I guess we're going to have to try and kill them here. So let's go ahead. So unfortunately, another Surging Strike here. Let's do that. Let's just send Surging Strike. We're going to try and like sneak through their damage. Let's play the safer line, I think. Because now we can pump all of this like pretty well, I think. Okay, so we can make a tiger. This is going to come in for... Let's just send this instead. Yeah. 6. They're going to have to give me more than just the regular old blocks. Take 6. Okay. Pop. Send. So we can send the Kakara instead. No. I'd rather send the Bittering Thorns for 2, probably. Okay. We'll pop this. And they're going to have to give... Actually, we'll just give the weapon. Give me a lot of cards from their hand. Very curious. Very curious. I mean, they're keeping this until they obviously have to, right? But I think it's... There it is. Okay. And we'll keep the Bittering Thorns in Arsenal and then just be good to go. Yeah, this block's a little bit better. Electrify. Okay, so they're going to get to draw a card. They're probably only sending one thing, but I guess like if it's not Snapshot, they pitch the Snatch, draw a card, pitch to Death Dealer, another red. There's a Snapshot. Pay 4. If it's Lightning Fusion, if there's no Lightning Fusion, then it's fine. A Scarf for a Scarf. Oh, that's so good for them. Oh my gosh. Oh, and they have the Electrify this turn. I have to remember that. I think I have to just... Dang, I have to like pass here pretty much. Because Electrify kills me. Well... That sucks. We'll block 5. Block 6. Gotta give you everything. That's unfortunate for me because now I can't kill you. So that sucks. Luckily, we're at less life than them, so if they're trying to do anything sneaky, it's a different thing. Snapshot Lexi is just like a different beast entirely for sure. Okay, so they have Snapshot. They got their last Snapshot. They are going to fuse it. Yep. So they're going to be able to do that again. We can take damage here. They're out of lightning presses for sure. Yeah. So I think we might just be able to block 3 here, take 1. Yep. Dry powder shot. This is going to come in for 5. I think we're okay there, actually. Well, 5, I have to get... Or 4. 4. It comes in for 4. It does have go again, though. Oh, this is second strike. We die. No, that's it. Nope, that's it. We definitely can't beat that kind of damage. That's crazy. So, good stuff. That is powerful. Good game. See, again, these aggro decks, they just kind of like throw a whole bunch of damage. If they have it, they have it. I know that Snapshot Lexi has always been kind of a insane thing. They found 2 snapshots were at the bottom. They found their 2 red snapshots early in the game. They found their lightning presses early in the game. So Benji already starts at 17 life. So we already have less. But overall, I definitely expected that to be kind of the way this went. I feel like the surging strikes were good because they presented a lot more damage, but I think it was just too clunky. Maybe we move those out for something that costs 1 instead. Because you'll see, I mean, their damage they threatened was 11, 16, 8, 13. The damage we threatened was 13, 14. So I guess like right around the same, but it's a 20 health format, and Benji's a 17 health hero. So I think with 3 more health, I mean, with 3 more health, we would be at 1 here, right? So who knows, right? Who knows what we have to do? But Benji's not notably one to block, and so it's unfortunate that we kind of have to significantly earlier, which just makes sense. But that's okay. That's Benji. That's how it works. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the very quick game today in the Benji versus Snapshot Lexi build. But please let me know how you feel the Benji deck looked, and if there's anything that you want to kind of bring to your Benji list that might be a little bit different. Please feel free to go ahead and let me know. I'd love to take criticism and learn a little bit more about some of these heroes, because some of these heroes I'm playing for like the first time. Some of these heroes I've played a few times, and some of them I've really played for a long time. So I have a little bit more knowledge in those things, but I think overall the deck does what it's supposed to do. I think, unfortunately, just when it comes to aggro versus aggro, the other aggro deck that sees their good stuff first wins the aggro match. And that is pretty much just what happened here. So thank you all so much for watching. I do truly appreciate your support. And if you did enjoy today's episode, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already. And as always, I hope you continue to have fun in the flesh and blood. And I will see all of you beautiful Ashwings in our next installment of the Silver Age A to Z series.